I'm your host, Optimus Christ, because Jesus can't turn into a truck. Next up, we have Magnus.
Hello, hearing just some witty shit or something.
And we have M.
Yeah.
Something. Okay, passing on. We have Logic.
Hello.
We have James.
Hi, y'all.
Your microphone sounds like it was shoved up your ass. And last but not least, it's Armchair Revolutionary.
The revolution will not be televised.
Well,
What's up?
We finally got him back.
I think so. I don't know.
Howdy, y'all.
We got a bad echo, huh?
All right. So, this hangout is the female mentality on how they use their mentality to manipulate men. Who wants to start off?
Well, I pretty much did that hangout with Zerse where we tried to give sort of a grade school kindergarten set of information to male feminists on how the female mind works in a sexual sense. But I think I'll let more seasoned professionals start this one off.
All right. So, who else? Armchair. Yeah, I know you have shit to say. Come on.
Shit to say about these hoes? I ain't got shit to say. I should go back jacking off, man.
All right, James. James.
Well, as an aside, considering the host of the hangout, I don't think him being a giant robot that turns into a truck, I think it's more jacking on in his case.
Hey, okay. I like my lubricants.
Jack on and roll out.
Oh yeah. Autobots, jack on and roll out.
Like, Ad Bender probably is going to hang out with you, too, and jack on.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, Logic. What do you think about the female mentality and how they use it to manipulate men?
I am a Padawan in this situation. I don't really meh. I don't know. I mean, it's been very easy to tell for me when men and women are flirting. Usually, I don't know. I think that there's a general concept with humans that we all think that we're a little more clever than we actually are. And that's definitely the case with a lot of women that have tried to quote-unquote flirt with me. It's usually been like, I usually just say, like, look, I know what you, and it's nice, it's sweet, it's kind, but no, not right now. No.
Well, no, what I want everybody to take a moment to appreciate is the fact that women do have a very incredible marketing and PR firm, because look at how complicated and scary and confusing they've convinced men that their mentality is.
And what is that mentality?
Well, that mentality of like everybody knows women do more sub communication, like they're very subtle with what they say. They don't they're not like men where it's like, you know what, I got a fart. They'll come up with a long poem to explain to you, hey, I got a fart. And it's like, why didn't you just say so?
And then after they fart, you call them out on it.
Oh, no, I didn't.
And then they're like, no, I didn't fart. I never fart. I know you farted.
Well, yeah,
my socks are on fire.
Well, well, your pants are smoking. How are you going to tell me you didn't do it? Well, but that's just it. Women love plausible deniability.
Oh, of course.
As long as they can claim that, oh no, I never did or said that, then yeah, they're fine.
You mean the victim card? Is that what you're talking about, the victim card?
No, not the victim card. It's as long as it can't be pinned on them as it was your idea, whether it be sex or anything else, as long as you can't directly pin it to them and say, no, this was your idea, this is what you're doing. They want that plausible deniability most of the time.
Oh, exactly.
Dude,
They don't want to. They don't want to say, "Oh, it's our fault." They can't do that. I actually saw this meme where this guy broke a glass, and the lady was like, "You break this, you break that." And when the wife broke a glass, she's like, "Why is there glass in the room in the first place?"
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I mean, you'll be texting them and shit, and they'll like, you want to get together later, and they'll bring it up, and you're like, I didn't say that we were gonna go that far. It's like, what the fuck, man? And think like you're the bad guy, It's like that's why it pisses me off.
They always want to be the person to rescue. They never think they're never take responsibility for themselves.
You sounded like me in a robot voice there for a moment.
Well, can you guys at least understand me?
I don't think anybody can understand you, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, James, I think there's a serious problem with your microphone.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
We'll make do with what we've got because we're men and that's what men do.
So we're actually going to talk about a specific situation for now, and it's a situation that a lot of people have actually asked me on advice for. How to actually stop getting women to notice you when you're going your own way. It's difficult to go your own way when you no longer want any interaction with women at all. However, that in turn leads them to throw themselves at you. So, what are your each and individual thoughts?
It's almost like when you go your own way, you are like a bigger, brighter, hotter blip on their radar, just because your entire mentality has gone from that stink of desperation of, oh, I want a relationship, to now that you don't care, it creates the right. It's almost like turning on a magnet. It's more likely to draw them to you just because the attitude change.
Right. Em, how about you?
Well, actually, I found. I'm sorry about earlier. I was having a weird computer glitch. But yeah, I found just one. Don't compliment them. 2, treat them like you would anyone else, like a dude. And 3, dress down. Jeans and a t-shirt and sneakers.
I do that. It doesn't work. I'm still like a hot blip on their fucking radar.
Yeah, I wear gym clothes all the time.
I act so fucking beta, and they still come after me. because we all know our resting selves are our asshole selves. So it's very hard to force ourselves to act like a beta. It is.
Oh yeah. I just usually ignore them myself. I ignore any advances. If advances are made towards me, I usually, divert their attention. And so with me, it doesn't necessarily mean anything to me because I will, if I don't have any interest in them to continue a conversation with them at any point, I'll act like they're the scum of the earth, honestly. Now, wait, Galatians 3:6 says in a chat, in the past, when I've challenged them to comment, I usually got was be a man. So we know that being a man in today's society means you have to be the masculine macho stuff, regardless of what feminism says. Feminism says, oh, you should be able to feel free to express your feelings while completely acknowledging our problems while we completely ignore yours. It's a vicious fucking cycle. So the thing is,
but Optimus, the way they expect you to express stuff is almost like they're expecting you to just drop your fucking pants, dance on top of a car, whoop and holler, and shaking your fucking cock. It's like
look at it this way, okay? Women inherently drop subtle hints to get what they want, right? And then they
Yep.
get angry when they don't get it. Well, when feminists say you should be able to express your feelings, that's the capacity what they're trying to do. They're trying to just think about it. If a man dropped subtle hints about what he wanted,
Hmm.
women would completely ignore it. You know,
Exactly.
and so that's basically my advice was to be beta, be the friend zone guy, be the friend zone guy because of choice. You know, not because of situations where you actually want to get to know her.
Yeah.
You want to be in a friend zone so that way she will never look at you. Well, I mean, she will, because at that point you're a friend zone. You're her emotional support. But she's not going to look at you sexually. Now, like I told Armchair about a situation he was in. You know, Armchair, I'll go ahead and let you explain about the and.
Yeah, this chick said I was being rude. I just said and she didn't respond all the day. And then when I went to class with her, she's like, "Well, hello." I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" I just didn't give a shit. And then she's like, "I'm mad at you." I'm like, "So?"
And what did you want to do before I told you to put the word and?
I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was just gonna say like whatever. I was gonna say something similar, dude, because I'm already on that the similar wavelength to what you're on what type of shit you do. But like you said, you know, I show some interest. I'm like you said, I'm like a gamma or alpha beta or some shit. I'm cool with that shit because I'm just like if a chick says you know I want to fuck, no strings attached. I'm like oh cool. But if you want to be like want to like looking for a husband and shit, I'm like oh hell no.
Actually, Armchair, you should probably use the 4 questions I stole from Bill Hicks a long time ago. My favorite 4 questions I ever heard him ask. Yeah, and so what?
I love Bill Hooks, man.
Oh, Bill Hicks was awesome.
We're on a ride, man. All this life is just a ride.
Blue collar comedy tour.
Oh yeah, it's and when a woman asks me, you know, why are you such an asshole or why are you such a douchebag? Or if they make the comment that I am an asshole or I am a douchebag, I'm gonna say, and what's your point?
She said, this girl said F you over chat. I'm like, whoa. And she's going to be
Well,
so submissive to
there's
me in
different ways
person.
you can handle that. If you ignore it, that's fine. If you want to intentionally mess with her mind, then
Tell her,
it's
tell her,
tell her you have
tell
to
her you're not.
tell her she has to buy you dinner first.
Not actually do one even better. Use my. I have 3 answers built off the same 2 premises based on that. The full answer I give is, nah, it's all right. I'm not that bored and you're not that talented. Besides that, I'd fall asleep and you'd fall in love.
Also, I found an interesting situation. I was approached by a woman today, and automatically I knew what she was going for. So she tried to strike up small talk, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm not having this today. So I turned to her and dead faced her and said, "Can I tongue punch your fart box?" She gave me the disgusted look and walked away. I was like, mission achieved. Mission successful. So it depends on the personality of the woman on how you get her to leave you alone.
Well, yeah, because if she would have
Because
been the right person,
it could have easily went the other way, and she would have been like, hell yeah, let's go.
exactly.
So you have to study their personality because their mentality fits their personality because it's all based on emotion.
We're just
Exactly.
emotional beings. 100% emotional beings, so.
Well, and that's why women don't make sense to men half the time. And I brought that up in that hangout I did with Zerst the other day. Was a man works on logic. So once he's got his claws into an idea, like if you ask a man, "How you feeling today?" He's going to base it on the emotion he has felt the most of that day. He might have been happy for the most part, but a little annoyed at some point, felt a little sad at one point, but he's going to say, yeah, I'm doing pretty good, pretty happy. With a woman, pack a fucking lunch, because if you ask her that question, you're going to be there the whole goddamn day. Well, at first I was happy, and then I got sad because I broke a nail, and then I was... Yeah, with women, they're like emotional to the point where they subanalyze all their emotions. They don't just, go with the overall. Well, yeah, I was been pretty happy all day, like guys.
And see, here's another case that can go easily wrong if you can't determine their personality type. At a previous job I was working at, as my part-time, I had a female boss or a female manager. So, so she's, standing there giving me instructions, and I already know how to do this job. So I'm just trying to be polite, and it gets to the point to where she seems like it's condescending. So at that point, I turn around and say, "Yeah, your instructions were unclear. My dick got caught in a ceiling fan." So, what I expected for her to be totally turned off, she actually got flustered and blushed.
Oh boy.
So, I mean, that's an example of how things can be totally messed up when it comes to getting women to leave you alone.
Well, and here's another thing you also got to keep in mind. That is kind of how I test people when I first meet them. I'll say something just completely fucking outlandish like that, and men or women, I'll see how they react, because that's a good way to get a baseline on their personality. If you tell like a stupid, nasty joke and they laugh, usually chances are they're going to be pretty cool to talk to.
Yeah, but if it's women, on the other hand, you're going to have to flip the switch and then go all beta on them. You're going to have to be completely submissive to the ones that laugh at the nastiest jokes. Now, the ones that are making small talk and seem shy, that seem like, how can I pull it?
Yeah, but why would you, hang on, why would you have to go all beta on the ones that,
Because the objective is to get them to leave you alone. No romantic entanglement whatsoever.
Well, hold on. At this point, I feel I need to interject. The best defense is a good offense. And I will say...
I'm about as offensive as it gets.
Well, to what the scenario he's specifically talking about, I was in the scenario. I was in a hipster coffee shop / bar a couple of years ago in a college town. I was in sort of the art area of it. I was talking to like 5 people, 3 of them chicks, right? They're like 20-something. 2 of them were kind of hot, like 7s and 8s, right?
So now I'm going to guess all the ones that actually had finished and gotten their degrees were behind the bar serving the coffee.
Gender studies degree.
No, actually, those were the 3 owners, to be honest.
Liberal arts majors.
We won't get into that. Let's not make fun of them. But the point being is that I made the rape soft joke. Let's not turn this rape into a murder. And to be honest, the 2 hottest, like the alpha and the beta of the group female, like the 2 hottest chicks, laugh their fucking ass off. If you can disarm them with you sort of make it known that you're sort of not afraid, they'll sort of leave you alone. It's really weird. Like, yeah, drop a rape sloth mean joke.
I feel like that's a good joke to use at a job interview.
Well, it's like the Peter Griffin joke, the Family Guy joke. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Doing your wife. That's where I see myself in 5 years. Yeah.
Now, the way that I equate to navigating the female mentality when trying to get them to leave you alone is like you're in a raft and you're going down rapids, and there's rocks in the way. Those rocks are the females. You can crash into them at any time. It's how you proceed from there is whether or not you dodge the situation.
Right, and just like with rocks in a river, you have two options. You could either see it coming from far away and avoid it, which is probably the easiest route, right? Or you could dive right towards it and sort of kayak the situation.
Right.
You can canoe it, which is sort of seeing it from a distance and slowly avoiding it from afar, which is easy. Or you can dive right in and kayak it.
Yeah.
I went to an aquatic biology school, so I know a lot about that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, isn't
Ladies and
it?
gentlemen, I present Aquaman.
Using his
I bathe in.
telepathic powers, Aquaman summons a can of tuna.
No, actually, I was going to do a video about that with my last computer before it got all crapped out on me. So I bathe in female tears. Aquaman. Aquaman bathes in female tears.
Aqua MGTOW.
Seems legit.
Well, he's all ripped and has mascara and long hair now.
Yeah, I hear the new Aquaman's actually pretty good.
Yeah, he's all ripped and shit. I mean, I don't know if I haven't seen footage of him in the new movie yet, but
On the plus side, all the money I saved from not spending it on bitches, I got 3 cases of Surge.
What is Surge?
Oh, the best energy. Well, the best soda ever that came out in the 90s. They discontinued it for a while, but now they're bringing it back.
There you go. It was the only thing that made Jack Daniels not taste like shit.
My favorite is, you tell a woman that you're gonna rape them, just jokingly, and then they're like, oh, it's like, don't worry, I'm bringing it back.
what? I don't
That's a
get
good
that
one.
one. I don't get that one yet. I'm feeling stupid.
I feel like if I told that joke in Houston, don't turn this rape into a murder, I would immediately have the cops called on me.
Yep.
Yeah, because, cowgirls only ride horses, not rapes.
I always
joke.
heard that the reason why cowgirls are bow-legged is because cowboys eat with their hats on.
What suggestions do you have for male friends that are not MGTOW? I'm thinking of no longer associating with them. These men are good guys, but their mentality is annoying. Well, you can't blame them for sticking with the same mentality that they had before you became MGTOW. Okay, so it's not their fault. So when you are dealing with friends that are not of MGTOW-like mind, or hell, I mean even PUA, you can't really. I guess it raises in the question of, are they really your friends?
Yeah, man. I always thought that Barbar video, like POA versus Big Tower, was really good. I think someone like Misogynist Nazi put up, and he like put some old Barbar rants against RSD's blue pill bullshit, and it's like it's like Barbar was saying, like, you MGTOWs don't they don't run after chicks. If a chick offers on their terms and the chick is cool, then yeah. They gonna be like some sort of Tupac shit, but it's like they're not going chasing after these hoes like a retard. And like RSD, they go around to clubs and chase these hoes like retards, and that's not MGTOW can never be that,
Yeah, MGTOW, it's okay. You're offering me sex. What else? It's ask them the question. What else? What else can you offer that my hand cannot?
No, it's just like a luxury. I think a MGTOW should have in perspective, like it's like a luxury item. You can get it risk free. If you can get it, minimize the risk and get it. But you gotta drop all this bullshit hoops and simp out to a chick and shit. And fuck that shit. Just rub one out. It's better than messing with these hoes. Like it's like.
Unlike the PUAs, we could say no. That's the difference between us and them.
Exactly. We don't chase, and we come off as cooler because we're not actually chasing this shit. We're sending chicks a text to hook up and shit. I mean, at most, if we're even putting that much effort in shit. We're just like, don't even give a shit, and the chick's always intrigued and shit.
Exactly.
But going back to the topic of, if your friends aren't of like mind, like I have friends that are not MGTOW. Um, and I respect their wishes if they don't want to hear about what I think on MGTOW. That's fine. I just feel sorry for them because sooner or later they're going to go through the same shit that we've all went through in order to end up MGTOW. At that point, I guess the best we can do is wait for the inevitable to happen and guide them along the process after they've been taken to the cleaners.
Yeah, man, exactly. If they're on some blue pill shit, they're in for a while of hurt. Today's age, man.
It's sad. It's sad but true. I've known friends for years. They're my best friends, but I gotta let them learn. It's like a child. You gotta let them learn.
You gotta touch that stove, man. You gotta touch the stove, and then you're like, oh shit. It's like, then
well, I've got friends, friend who lives in Cuba that I play League of Legends with. He was in college a couple of years back, and when we were talking, one of his friends got thrown out of college because of a chick, and him and the rest of his friends that were friends with that particular dude swore off women until university was over. So
that's actually a really smart move in modern day society.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that just goes to show how women are, in a way, women's mentality always allows for them to fuck themselves out of a good thing.
Right. And what is the main reason women go to college for?
To get an MRS degree.
To get husbands, boyfriends, to ride the carousel, right? Why do you think they go after liberal arts degree?
What was that?
Mr. Right is what's left after MGTOW.
Exactly. Because the thing is, they fuck around in high school, right? And then they go to college and try to find a beta male provider who they didn't get married to. Still fuck the alphas, and then divorce him. The facts of life. Ain't that great?
In my high school, the bitch was so ugly that I had this ugly ass email girlfriend and shit. I was just didn't even give a shit back then, man. I just didn't give a shit. She'd come to me and hug me and shit.
It doesn't matter if they're ugly or not. These guys are simping really fucking hard for 2s and 3s.
Oh yeah, and it's just, I guess it determines on the type of situation you're in at that point. If you're in any type of school, treat it like elementary school. Treat it as if the woman had cooties and you were running away. If you're in a workplace and she starts flirting with you, use that to your advantage. She starts flirting with you, that is sexual harassment. You can flip the script on her.
Hey, my manager fills up my muscles every time I come here. I cannot, even if I wanted to. They will laugh at me and say, "Man up."
Can you say Can you say lawsuit? Well, if they say man up, it's like, oh, I will. Have you met my lawyer?
No, wait, look further that. Have you met my lawyer? He loves men.
See.
Your microphone is I'm looking at the chat, and the question is, where do these men need the validation from? Other men, women, world, idols. Okay, so I actually have a good point to raise on that.
Let me go ahead and say, I've been saying this for a long time. I'm still going to toot this bugle till I drop. Men need self-validation. That's what they need.
They also have the male vulnerability need. In today's society, where we're expected to act masculine, there is no outlet for us when we need to, quote-unquote, break down. Okay, break down everything and release that so that way we can continue on throughout the day. So, I would say, find like-minded friends. Don't get rid of your old friends if they're not of the same, thought processes. Just find new ones and get their insights. Share your insights, and most of them don't actually judge you. They know the shit that you've been going through and will actually try to help you out.
I briefly explained MGTOW to a random guy a white boy in his 20s at the bar, and he was like, "Yeah, it makes sense." He was like, "Yeah, it makes sense that men don't want to get married anymore." I framed it like that, I give a small drop of a red pill, and he's like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Well, I'm a white boy in his 20s, and I would say that just from the representation on TV, it makes sense that men don't want to get married.
Oh yeah, I mean you find the advertisements where men are the buffoons and women have to clean everything up.
Oh,
Same
no,
thing
no,
with
not
sitcoms
that.
like Everybody Loves
Like,
Raymond.
yeah, no, but what I'm talking about more would be like characters in shows. I'm sorry, am I coming in good?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Characters in shows like Dick from American Dad, who's like divorced and his life is shit, and the only thing that means anything to him is his job. I mean, he works at the CIA, so that's pretty cool. But he's played by a really funny comedian who had a web series called Flower Shop. He was also in Ron Burgundy as the sports guy. Anyway, um, yeah, this is a character who breaks down and cries every time he's featured in an episode because his wife took everything, including the dog, and that's part of the joke.
Yeah, it's like the society's catching on. It's like we're doing the same dumb shit, and but society's like it knows that it's like a bad deal somehow, and like men are just jumping to the firing squad again, and they don't even put on blindfolds.
Yeah, it's the way that I look at it is determine a cost-benefit ratio of everything. And I mean everything, not just in relationships, dating, along with the government. It's everything. Um, if it benefits them more than you, don't do it.
Well, that's the one thing that they keep trying to keep men from doing is figuring out what does this do for me? What do I get out of this? And that's the biggest problem, really.
Well, see, okay, and I think that goes to the whole female mentality topic or subject matter that we got going on here. The female mentality when it comes to marriage and practically most male-female interactions is, what do I get out of this?
Yeah. No, you're actually right. You're actually right. But the thing is, what I don't understand is if we had the rights that they did, we wouldn't be screwing them over and everything. I do think they're initially selfish in nature.
Like with my previous videos, 7 rights that women have that men don't. It goes
Okay,
through.
They
now,
want more, and they want more rights.
Yeah.
How greedy is that?
well, no, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now, I've thought about this, though. Now, imagine if you're born knowing. Like, so they say it's a man's world, right? Imagine
Biggest lie ever.
Well, but imagine if you're born knowing that you're not as smart. Imagine being born knowing that you're not as strong, fast, whatever. Imagine this sort of not just victim complex that you would constantly have relative to half the population, generally speaking, but also this sort of innate and almost encouraged drive to exploit to the extreme every advantage you find.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though. Why are they trying to match men? Are we trying to see who can get pregnant best, or?
No, here the thing is when they're trying to match men, what they're referring to is the CEO positions and the cushy jobs that they want. Okay. Now, they don't want to work a sewer system because they think that's a man's job. I know equality, right? So, with that being said, they're fighting for more cushy positions, like they want to be equal, but yet they want to be catered to. And that's the problem. And when they keep telling men that they're obsolete and that they're not even wanted, like I don't like, fuck men, all that stuff. Well, what they don't understand is MGTOW has heard them and said, well, fuck you too. We don't need you.
Well, yeah, like one of my debunking videos was on a woman named Lacey Green, and she did a video called "Why I'm a Feminist," and I
if she's a
basically
feminist, why do I have pictures of her, quote unquote?
yeah. With this, every time she listed a reason, which by the way, it's a lot like Dr. Zakir Naik with Lacey Green. She goes by super fast and has dramatic music playing in the background and thinks that means no one can check her facts. Every time she listed a reason, like the 1 in 4 women get assaulted on college campuses, which is ridiculous, and things like that, I would interject. Now, one of the things she said in succession, yes, one after the other. All right. One of the things she said right at one after the other was there aren't enough women CEOs, and then women shouldn't be my competition. So wait, you want your employer to care more about your gender than your skill set, but you also don't want anyone else of your gender applying to that job that you're applying to. I think I know why you're a feminist, Lacey Green.
Well, Lacey Green is an interesting case study. The Zers, aka Bass FZZ, if you've not seen his videos, go check him out. He considers her like his arch nemesis, and I think he very much enjoys debunking her videos, and even Teal Deer has had a go at her a couple of times for stupid shit she said.
Also, Nose Hole Bar is made fun of her too. Like, I mean, she's the go-to.
Oh yeah.
She's second only to Sarkeesian and the go-to bitch to break down and say that this is a bunch of bullshit. You know, other than that, you might want to like squeeze her big ass titties. She's not worth a shit. You know, just a fat bitch. You know.
Here's the thing, James. What Lacey Green is she is the ultimate walking contradiction of what a feminist actually is. She wants to ride the cock carousel as hard and fast and long as she wants to and not have to be judged for it. But then she's all into that whole consent thing, and it's like, Lacey, have you gotten laid since you started that bullshit? Because no man in his right fucking mind does that. Oh, mother, may I touch your boobie? Mother, may I put my finger in your pooty poo?
Can I tongue punch your fart box?
Yeah, mother, may I tongue punch your fart box?
Well, Magnus, who wouldn't want to have sex with a feminist? You know, someone who curls up into a ball after you have sex and cries and calls the police.
Well, no, actually, if a feminist even offered, I'd tell her right quick, no, that's all right. I think I'll just go fuck myself.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. It's just what I don't understand about I don't hate the feminists as much as I hate their followers. How in the world could you follow a movement if you could put it that's been debunked thousands and thousands of times?
It's called stupidity.
Yeah. It's ignorance if you don't know. It's stupidity is if you do and completely ignore it.
Oh yeah, I recently used jacking off to something obscure as a line. If you like, I used the line with this chick that I wanted to end a conversation with. If you excuse me, I have to go listen to the new episode of Ben Shapiro show while jerking off in the toilet.
Sounds like a good party to me.
Well, actually, I would have said something more along the lines of, yeah, you're not getting in my bed unless you're more entertaining than Lithuanian amputee midget porn.
Lithuanian amputee midget porn.
Darn right.
You know who got the best pussies, niggas? Midget, nigga. This is the Wire you know what I'm talking about. That's a quote from the Wire. I think Red Method Man says that shit. You know who got the best pussy, nigga? Midgets, nigga.
And you know, I believe women inherently don't know how to run businesses unless it's for, you know, like beauty care products or something that they actually know what they're talking about.
Oh, Disney's Aladdin. Disney's Aladdin would be a good one.
How's that?
Screaming Arabian Nights, like Arabian Day. Just from
the reason why they don't know, that's the reason why the government gives them so many damn incentives for a woman-run business, because they want women to they want women to feel equal, so they give them so many incentives to be stupid and try to run a business when you know 6 months down the road it's not going to be there anymore.
Yeah, nah, that's what makes it funny as shit, though, is, you know, most men don't even know how to run a fucking business, but women get all these incentives to do it. Yeah, no.
If there is an opportunity, can you address the lust of a MGTOW? Yes, my lust is alcohol in my hand.
Well, hey, if you're gonna lust after something.
Yeah. I think what he's referring to is you see a woman that's obviously an 8 through 10, 8, 9, or 10, and you're just like, oh man, I would smash that with the fury of 1,000 suns. You know, how do you cope with that? It's just a momentary weakness in your male nature. It's what you should be thinking about is it going to be worth it? And if you even, you know, stop thinking about that for a second, it's not worth it.
Well, I mean, I think we've all seen that one woman that's like, damn, look at the shitter on that critter. But that's just it, you know. Sooner or later, you are going to see that one woman that catches your attention. But, you know, even when I see women like that, the first thought in my head is, how much bullshit would I have to deal with to smash that?
Yep. Remember, if you think that the girl you're looking at is awesome looking and amazing and attractive, just remember there's somebody else sick and tired of putting up with her shit.
Yep.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, now 5-second wad shot. Yeah, it's not worth it unless she makes me come like I'm taking a piss. No thanks. Just fire that cannon. Just pull it out. Kaboom! Right in her eye.
Yeah, do the Charizard. Light her pubes on fire, then put it out with your jizz. Wave your arms in the air, and be like, "You don't have enough badges to train me." Yeah, I went there.
Yep, you did. But that's
Oh
what
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the chat. It's wow, that is a very active chat.
Yes, it is.
I can't see it.
Can't see it.
No, I'm sorry. I'm on the app on the iPhone.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, iPhones aren't very decent as far as I can tell.
Yeah, this is a iPhone 6, not very reliable, I would argue. Yeah, to prevent dead air, can you guys tell me why I'm getting sort of the reaction I'm getting? Because for what I've done for a while is sort of, well, not troll people, but when I don't want to talk to people on an app called Badu, which is like a chat app, I'll just recite lines from the Star Wars prequels. So I get the reaction from, because after I had this conversation with you guys a few days ago, I've started to sort of try to look at different reactions I get based on gender. So from the men, usually eventually I'll get something like "go fuck yourself," "fuck you," "fuck off," "leave me alone." From the women, they'll actually try to engage me in conversation. Can you tell me what that's about?
Well, if you're not paying attention to them, they're obviously going to wonder why you're not paying attention to them and work that much harder to garnish your affection.
Oh wait,
Well,
I
I mean-
was able to convince one dude that the story of Darth Plagueis was in the Bible.
But, I mean, how are you prompting them? I mean, what are you saying that's engaging these women, but disengaging?
Well, usually
men?
it's that one. Usually it's, "Have I ever told you the story of Darth Plagueis?"
And this gets them to engage you in a sort of MGTOW related discussion.
No, what, MGTOW related? No.
No,
It's
what are you engaging them in? Just discussion.
trolling, basically.
with a Darth Plagueis like openness.
Just like certain trolling situations which we won't list on air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'll select a random character from the Star Wars prequels in my head. In this case, Emperor Palpatine, not Emperor Palpatine, Sheev Palpatine. That was it. Sheev. That's a stupid first name. Anyway, he'll just recite the conversation, his side of the conversation that he had with Anakin. Is like, did I ever tell you the fable of Darth Plagueis the Wise? His power was so great he could even stop those he loved from dying. Things like that.
I don't know. I think I think, to be honest, you were just like poking fun at them, not hardcore trolling.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, hardcore trolling would be lure them in. You are the Venus flytrap, and once they think they have you, your claws just grip around them, turn their mind to jello.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think in this case, what you meant was penis flytrap.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
well,
That's
no, I
fair.
mean, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's just women are more easily trolled. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well, of course. I mean, if you actually act in sarcasm while restating the problems that they had during the day, they're obviously going to get angry.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You know,
I have seen this firsthand.
it's that easy if you want to just, push them away, but if you really want to mind fuck them, that's yeah.
weird. It's weird.
Yeah, no, a total mind fuck would be like if you could convince them that, like, you smelled a fart in an elevator and you were the only one in it and you knew you didn't do it.
Yeah.
That's a mind fuck for you.
um
Well, now the talk. Let's get back to MGTOW talk. Well, this is kind of MGTOW talk. Talking
well,
about
there
female
he's
mentality.
talking about the actual chat. There's questions being thrown around, and there it's the MGTOW versus anti-MGTOW chat.
Now,
So,
this is a chat on YouTube?
yeah.
Yeah, it's on the
Oh, okay, let me log on to my
it's on
computer.
the actual show page there.
Huh.
Well, but that's just it. I think the base meaning of MGTOW to start out was not getting married until you actually found a woman that treated you with respect.
The
All that
bottom
good
line
shit.
the bottom line is after a woman hits 25, she hits the wall. Okay. Or 25, what is it? Christmas cake?
Yeah,
Yep,
25
Christmas
Christmas
cakes.
cake.
So okay, just for the chat purposes, someone explain what the actual term Christmas cake means.
I don't know.
Christmas cake comes from Japan. They adopted Christmas naturally after the wars, so to speak. And everyone gets a Christmas cake. But after Christmas, no one wants Christmas cake, right? It's kind of like fruit cake. Like in America, imagine fruit cake. The sort of stigma attached to fruit cake in America.
Nobody wants it, but they'll eat it once a year.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's sort of the thing with the Christmas cake in Japan. So pretty much after a girl's 25, she's hit Christmas cake. No one wants
Now,
Christmas cake.
now it's actually opposite with the man. The older he gets, the more his sexual market value goes up.
Well, between 25 and 35.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why my advice to a
between
lot of
30
men
and
has
40.
been. Well, that's why my advice to a lot of men has been, try to ignore your sexual urges as best you can in your 20s, and then maybe start looking around for dating opportunities when you hit like 30, 35, because that's giving you time to get your shit together and get some cash. Get some cash saved up, get yourself in a good spot.
Exactly. Like I would advise all young men who is listening now, don't get involved with them until you hit 25, 26.
Okay.
I would actually go farther than that. Wait until you're 30.
Well, that's why I said 25 to 30.
30, 35.
Yeah.
So it's at that point you've already had the experience of looking around you and noticing just the subtle reactions women have to everything. And in that way, you can make a logical choice if you're still missing marriage, or relationship, as males with male nature are prone to do. We've all had these thoughts. We've all had these urges. The question is, can you fight them? Do you take the red
Well,
pill and fight
and the
them,
big
or do you take the
the
blue
biggest
pill
reason.
and stay in the system?
Well, and the biggest reason for me saying that though is this ain't like in the old days where women actually had to put some effort into it and get with a man and help him build his fortune and his empire. Now they can be lazy. They can just latch onto some dude, and if he doesn't go anywhere, they can drop him for somebody else who did.
Hey, Madness, here's something funny. Here's something really funny. If a guy goes out and work, does the dishes, does everything, and he asks a wife for just a simple breakfast, oh my God, you sexist prick, we're getting a divorce. You see, a lot of women are like that these days. A lot of women are like that
At
these
that
days.
point,
The second you ask them to do something, like, oh my God, you sexist prick, I don't have to do this. I'm like, bitch, I didn't have to pay for the roof over your head. Okay, goodbye.
at that point, I would have already called my lawyer because, while in most cases the courts side with women, if the man can make the call first, then it's actually on their side.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm never getting married though, but just still, that like the mentality of how lazy they are. You could do everything, even the housework, and all they're doing is sitting down watching Oprah the entire goddamn day. And when you come home and say, "Hey, can I get a back rub?" or like we said, Optimus, a simple thank you or good job. Can't even do that.
Yeah,
They're too lazy to say thank you.
Exactly. It's men. All they want is a little appreciation. That's all. Let us know that we're being appreciated, that we're being valued. In today's society, that doesn't happen. It's like a taboo.
Well, but that's the thing, women aren't, taught to be grateful for what they have anymore. They're taught to, well, I've got this much, why don't I have more? And then if you do get that much, well, but why don't I have more than that? That's the entitlement that goes along with the modern female mentality.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
and just give me a moment here, just for chat purposes. I'd like to introduce Shinu.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Shinu.
Hi, Shinu.
What's up? What's up?
We are talking about the female mentality and how they manipulate men with it.
And because Shinu lives in Japan, he's got some very interesting insights into that mentality.
Me? No.
Yeah, you.
I don't got nothing to say about all that. Women are
I
nice.
bet you do, you sexy beast, you.
Women are nice, kind, lovely people.
That's horse shit.
That's horse shit in a brass barn.
I'm sorry, I read something in chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's...
There's a rape culture, didn't you know?
Maybe in Europe. I'm sorry, I had to joke about it. Because in the U.S., it's so fucking mundane. And there's one in Europe where the women would rather be raped by, people coming from overseas than ask men for help. That determines the rape culture.
Optimus, that's the thing. That's why it gives a whole new meaning to that whole saying about if it smells like cologne, leave it alone.
If it smells like fish making a dish, even I wouldn't touch that shit.
Depends on what kind of fish, but yeah.
Yeah, I just finished a video on rape culture. I'm editing it right now.
Wait, hold on. I can't tell if anime is trolling or not.
Nah, he's cool.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, hold on, what? So, I mean, it's... For me, I actually enjoy studying people. And when it comes to women asking me for things, or for a date, or for my time, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to ask, what's in it for me? And then usually that's enough to get them to leave me alone, because then they're going to go along the mentality of, oh, well, he's only thinking about himself, blah, 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 blah. And then they're going to go into that self-spiral of, depression and anger and, misogyny. And then, boom, another feminist is born.
Yeah, don't forget to wipe and flush when that happens.
Yeah. And it's not cost effective at all. I mean, unless you find a woman that knows the game. And this is exactly what it is. It is a game. Cat and mouse. That is the most simplest term I can put it. It just determines on who is the cat and who is the mouse. The betas, they would be the cat because they're chasing for the mouse, which would always get away. But for MGTOWs, we're the mouse. Because we're running away from women being thrown at us.
Well, just call me Mr. Jingles.
And it's... Where do I get the statistic? It's called experience.
Yeah, it's not a verified statistic.
Everyone has
Personal
their opinions. This is my opinion. Who just some people happen to agree with.
Yeah, usually my opinions are agreed with by people who've actually seen what I've seen.
Yep.
And you know what they say: once it's been seen, it cannot be unseen.
The Stalinist Brony. Welcome.
Oh,
How's it going?
How's it
Really?
going?
I'm just sitting here playing EVE Online.
Nice.
I hear good things about EVE Online.
It's great.
I also
I
hear
played
good
it
things
once.
about Terra.
I played it once. I couldn't get past the whole "how do I get out of the pod" thing. I'm just like,
Great.
how do I get a ship?
One player, I don't know his name, but one player described it perfectly. It's a cardboard box with 300,000 players in it and no rules.
Oh yeah,
I
that
think
doesn't
I'm
sound
interested
fun.
in EVE Online again.
Anything goes. Fraud, stealing, scams, whatever. You won't get banned for any of it.
Oh, that's like Immortal.
Yeah.
So the divorce rates between men and women, closer to 70 to 80%, and that's just initiated by women.
Oh yeah.
yep.
Exactly. And the other 30%, they're fucking miserable.
And the other 30% is the man knew from a red flag what he was about to get into, and it wasn't, daisies in a field of flowers. And that's the thing. A lot of times, people will say, "Oh, just get a prenup." No, prenups don't even work anymore in a court of law.
Yeah, the judge will just wipe his butt with it and toss it in the garbage right in front of you.
So it comes down to, what are you wanting to be? You can't blame blue pill people because they want to feel that affection. They haven't experienced what we have yet in order to stay away from cohabitation, relationships, dating, marriage. I mean, I was married once. Believe me, I learned from that mistake.
Well, yeah, if you don't learn from your past mistakes, you're not doing it right.
Yeah. And, I had a script written up for, my next video, but I have to go looking for it. 70% of suicides are male. 50% of those are by firearms. And what they don't understand is that rejection from society, rejection from women, is the cause of that depression. I mean,
Well,
who
James
else? Who?
Huger said how to fix that. You can fix that by getting rid of all the guns. Apparently, that's all. Then the men that want to commit suicide with guns won't commit suicide anymore.
Believe me, if someone wants to commit
That was
suicide, a
liberals,
gun
man.
isn't. The lack of having a gun isn't going to stop them.
Exactly, but that's
It's different ways of. No, but here's the funniest thing. I bet if we destroy feminism just for a week, I bet the suicide rates won't be that bad.
Yeah.
Like with me, I'm gonna say what I've told one or two people in here already. The question I have to ask myself every day is what would make me turn back to the blue pill? And my answer would be I have to fight my male nature every day to say nothing. Like, what they don't understand is being MGTOW is not a walk in a park. You're going to have urges. You're going to look at women and say, oh, well, she looks attractive. I wonder if she's a freak in the sheets. You know, and you're going to have those urges, and then, you know, you go home, masturbate, then you feel disgusted about it because, you know, hey. Like me, I'd rather drink and masturbate, personally.
Yeah. Here.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey now,
try to be there.
that was a bit
but that's just
much
it.
for public.
Look at the differences between male and female masturbation for a second. Female masturbation, it's almost like expected for women to have like a battery operated boyfriend in their sock drawer, but if a guy buys any implements or even does it with his own hand, it's like, ew, you fucking virgin, you're nasty.
Well, they had that thing that came out where they were talking about the virgin fleshlight that they had, where they said it had a hymen on all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And that was like
Exactly.
there was only like 2 or 3 fleshlights on that website, and all the rest of the website was filled up with dildos. And they didn't say anything about the dildos. They only said something about the fact that it had the fleshlights that were supposed to be virgin fleshlight.
You know, and like personally, I would rather spend 2 minutes masturbating and get on with my day, and have to spend 2.5, 3 hours trying to try to pleasure a woman, getting irritated that I'm not getting off, and that's 3 hours of my time wasted.
Yeah, it takes so much time just to get to the bedroom, and then really, I've never found, like, once I've got done with it, it was like, why? What? I felt like, why did I waste all my time for this? You know?
And you know, I'm looking at the chat, and I'm getting the feeling that people are misconstruing what MGTOW actually is. It's men men going their own way. You know, if technically, you don't have to stop dating. You don't have to stop being in a relationship. It's just gaining awareness of your entire surroundings. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, no, I heard the sound drop out.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. People are misconstruing what MGTOW actually is. It's men going their own way. You know, it doesn't mean you have to stay away from dating or relationships. Just gain an awareness around you and be prepared when that red flag goes off.
Yeah, MGTOW really is a lot more about having just situational awareness, realizing how she's trying to use you and what she's trying to do to you, and taking precautionary steps. Now, if you just want to drop out of the game altogether, that's fine. You know,
it's what we call ghosting, and that's fine too. Most MGTOW, they're taking trips to the Himalayas, you know, not caring, because you know they're taking skiing trips. That's why you see so many, 23 to 28-year-olds going skiing with no women in sight. Because why? Because if they had a woman, they wouldn't have enough money to go skiing.
That's great.
Well, they didn't have enough money to buy one ski from a pawn shop.
Yeah.
So they weren't going skiing.
Well, Optimus, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos like the one I did with Shino, but Give him a quick rundown of just what Japanese women do to their men. Yeah,
Well,
Mr. ATM, Mr. Will Work for Pussy.
yeah, it would take a long time for me to explain everything. Optimus knows a lot about it. It's the whole thing that we got going on over here is just the way men are raised as from children. They see the whole dynamic that we have in our families here of the husbands not being around, not being allowed to be around the children really, and basically just using them for money. Basically you might be lucky if you're a father and you actually stay with your wife until the kids are out of the house, which could take 25, 30 years. You might be lucky in your entire life seeing your father maybe 300 or 400 hours in your entire life, So a lot of these guys, even the girls, grow up realizing that that's probably going to be the life that you're going to have if you get married, which is why we're having a 70% herbivore rate here. Nobody wants to get married anymore, and a lot of men don't want anything to do with a woman because they don't even want to get caught up in all their bullshit.
Right, and I'm looking at the chat, and Mr. Shenanigan says, okay, you don't have to be MGTOW to be aware of the situation you're in. If you're not aware of any situation you're in or that you place yourself in, it's kind of the fault of every person, male or female. What do you guys think about that?
I would say that's not true. That if you, a lot of the problem is a lot of people are coming to MGTOW because a lot of boys grow up not knowing these things. They don't understand most of the stuff we talk about that MGTOW are talking about.
No.
A lot of boys don't know about it, and actually, if you tell them
can I say
about
something?
they get upset.
But he
They
just
actually get mad about learning.
Wait,
That's not what the guy said. The guy said you don't have to be MGTOW to understand the situation.
And
Yeah.
I actually replied in the chat, you don't have to be a blue pill man either.
What's so wrong about being a MGTOW? Like, oh, you don't have to be that. What's so wrong with that?
Well, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that.
No, I'm talking to the guy in the chat. Like, why does he keep deriving it from MGTOW? Like, you don't have to be in here. What if we want to be in here? What's so bad about? Are we hurting anybody? Are we putting hashtag kill off? No, we're not. We're simply having a peaceful conversation, talking with each other about female nature. What's so bad about this group? How can we have to leave this group?
And I actually replied in the chat, you don't have to be a blue pill man either. It's all perspective. See, what a blue pill man would be is sacrificing his time, resources, or energy for the sake of placating a significant other. Now, you continue doing that without any appreciation or any acknowledgement, you're not going to be happy.
You're going to kill yourself. If we want to be serious, you will kill yourself at the end of the day. This helped a lot of people from doing that. So when anybody says, oh, just leave it, if he left it, he's hitting rock bottom, and he's not coming back. Go back to the fields of the gynocentric society that treats you like shit. Will you treat them with kindness? No. This is a safe haven for men going their own way. Can anybody name right now any other safe space?
Someone's mic went out again.
Hello? Can anybody right here please tell me any other safe space for men?
EVE Online.
No. What I mean is that you could say anything and not be put under sexual harassment. They affected my video games. They affected my bars. They affected my movies. They affected my comic books. This is the last.
I'll be honest, yeah. DC Universe Online, the MMO, has become overrun with SJWs in the chat. Not this chat. I mean, a lot of chats within DC Universe Online. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, same thing here.
And it does go back to the quality of life. If you're sacrificing everything of yourself to placate a female's desires, because let's look at it, logically, it's not needs, it's desires. Because in today's day and age, they can have a job too. They have the same opportunity. They can climb the corporate ladder faster than men, because if they don't, then they'll just blame a glass ceiling. You're sacrificing more and more of yourself, to placate her desires. And you're saying that, being a real man is, going through life grumpy because of the fact is you sacrificed all of yourself for this woman who gave you no acknowledgement, but then trapped you with the 3 rings of marriage: the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. Okay, so
Well,
now
I don't see why a man would have to go through his life grumpy. Just jack off once in a while, you'll be all right.
and the thing is now that the woman has determined that the sexual market value of that man has decreased because he's simping so hard, she's going to get a divorce from him, therefore securing her financial future while she goes riding the cock carousel again.
Well, hell, Japan's like almost a cut culture, isn't it, Sheena?
Oh yeah, yeah.
These
that's-
poor bastards just simp the hell to their wives. Sheena even said to them having sex with their husbands like doing the fucking laundry.
And not to mention the endless shit test they get throughout the marriage. Now
Oh, yeah.
that. No, but remember, guys, just shut up, go to the plantation, man up.
Yeah, and that's what's really sad, that saying "man up." A lot of even women don't realize what that saying really means. They're not talking about being a man. They're talking about assume your
Provide for my needs and shut up about it.
assume
Bend over and let me stick this dildo of marriage up your butt. Never mind the fact that it's 12 inches
Assume
long.
See,
and
you
wide.
give them too much
Assume
credit.
your
They use a
provider
pineapple.
is what it is. It's assume your provider role. You're a utility. Man up and be a utility like every other man. Your job is to work for a woman, give all of your wealth to them, and allow them to use you.
Yeah, well.
And Mr. Shenanigans says, if that's the case, then such a woman didn't love you in the first place. That's the fault of both parties. First,
wait a
you're
minute,
operating.
wait a minute.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. First, you're operating under the pretense that women love you for you in the first place, which is
Exactly.
wrong. Okay, they
Yeah.
love you for your resources. Bottom line. Now,
If you're poor, watch how quickly a woman doesn't love you.
with that being said,
Actually, Optimus, let me modify that. They love you for what they perceive you have that you could give to them.
Well, yeah, I was.
Can I say something? No. Okay then. I'm sorry. Let me just say this. If it was 50 cups of water in front of you, and they say 70% of it is filled with poison, would you be that stupid to drink a cup from that table?
Nope.
That's why. Why should we take that chance? What's so important of us taking that chance to drink something that could potentially kill us, and the other 30% gives us stomach cancer? So basically, you're fucked either way. Have you not seen the statistics on divorce? Have you not seen statistics on male suicide?
Yeah.
the bottom
If you-
line.
And plus, it jumps when feminism is created.
Yeah.
That's not a coincidence, ma'am or sir, whatever. I'm just saying.
The bottom line.
50% divorce within 5 years, and after 7 years, all of them divorce. That's the rate going on now, and it's been the rate for about 12 years. Basically, if you last past 7 years, you're less than 0.4% of the population who gets married.
The bottom.
So you're not going to be married in 7 years if you're married.
The bottom line is, why would we want to chase and spend our time, money, and resources just to be rejected time and time again for the search of the purple squirrel or the unicorn?
Even if we aren't rejected, we're still fucked over when we finally find the quote-unquote one. Putting through multiple shit tests, complaining right when we get home. So basically, what do we get? Can anybody in the chat tell me, what do we get if we get married, or what do we get if we chase the women, compared to now when I go home, play my system, exercise, go to MMA, watch movies whenever the hell I want? Can anybody please explain?
Well, I tell you what, if you can tell me that you can find the perfect woman, I got an easier assignment for you. Go out, catch a fart, and paint it purple, and I'll give you $1,000. How about that?
I'm gonna try that.
You have a better chance of doing that than finding an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
use 'em, nigga.
Not all women
Well,
are
you-
licking taint.
well, and the funny thing about Nawalt is actually there is no such thing as Nawalt.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm reading the chat again. No analogy?
I'm sorry. Did the middle of my sentence interrupt the beginning?
Sorry about that. Go on. That's a
No,
good
what
one.
I-
Go on.
I'm saying is no, it's not the fact that there's no such thing as Nawalt. It's there are women that are not as bad, but there's no such thing as Nawalt. There's women that are not as bad, but somehow they got instilled with the concept of consequences for their actions.
The
But,
bottom
Nawalt-
bottom line is that we're not going to take the chance, especially when we have goals in life that we want to achieve, and that having a significant other in our lives is detrimental to the goals we want to achieve.
Yep. Like
Well,
retiring.
Exactly, but remember.
Well,
Go on.
and somebody in chat, look, if you're looking for statistics from me, keep looking, because this is all my opinion. I've never said anything otherwise.
And if I do a hangout, it's it's going to be what we think about the situation. Feminists can go based off of no, proof at all. Why should we have to when we're talking amongst ourselves? We're just talking about our experiences.
Yeah, talking about
Well,
our
I'm-
experiences and how we perceive the world based on that.
It's more cost effective to pay for a hooker because you're not paying for the sex, you're paying for her to leave.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. But here's the funniest thing. So I guess on the news or the laws, that whole listen and believe bullshit law, and that whole, alimony law that doesn't exist, you can look it up in any law. You can look it up in books, internet. The statistics is right there. And bring me statistics. Come on now. And plus, how is it wrong if we're talking about what we've been through? To them, we're quote unquote bitching, but when women talks about us, they're venting. Double standard right there, ain't it?
Yeah.
Most of the stuff they provide is double standards.
Well, okay.
Well, they say
well,
that
okay.
because
well,
they have fake claims that they make, and it's a kind of a way for them to shut you down. They think that shuts you down when you tell them something that is a fact, and then they say, "Where's the statistics?" Like somebody in the chat is
Fuck
going to
your
actually
statistics.
even care. If you give them statistics, they're not going to read them anyways. They're not. It's not about statistics. It's about trying to shut you down. That's what it's about.
Well, I think it's funny that no one knows the answer to what men get out of a marriage.
Nothing.
It is funny,
Absolutely
right? It's
nothing.
like
Absolutely
my dad's
nothing.
an asshole and deserves to have a brain shoved up his ass. But if he was a nice guy, I'd be like, oh, that sucks.
And it just goes to show what is in it for you. Don't think about trying to placate her. For once in your life, think about what's in it for you.
Yeah, because
I
how
see.
are you?
No, hold on a second.
Here's a better.
I see so many white knights coming to the defense of so-called snowflakes just because they think that women can't protect themselves when they want to be on an equal footing in the first place. Okay? And then they bitch and complain about where's all the nice guys. Well, you done killed the mood, bitch. So, here's how it's going to go. Treat it like a business proposition. Okay? What's in it for me? What can you provide me that my hand can't do for myself? If you can't answer that question, you're getting kicked to the curb. Can you make me get off in at least 5 minutes? No? Sorry, you're not worth my time.
Optimus, that actually goes back to a story I've told a couple of times.
The one where it says, "Hey, Bill."
No, it's I'm the scat man. Skippity bill bop bill. No, but I was actually there for this one. There was a guy. Oh, he was going on and on about the woman he was married to, and his stepdaughter heard him talking all that shit, and she goes, she's like, well, how can you say all that about my mom and blah 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 blah. He looked her dead in the face, and this is what made me die laughing. He looked her dead in the face. He said, "Girl, I can cook my own food. I can wash my own clothes. He said, in the day I can suck my own dick, you and your fucking mom are out of here.
Oh yeah.
And that's true, because think about it. What do women do for men that they can't already do for themselves? I can cook. I clean my own living space all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can iron my own clothes. I can even sew. I've repaired my own clothes several times. I'm not great at it, but I can do it. But at the
Hey,
same
but
time,
Magnus. Oh, sorry.
No, but that's
Sorry,
the question.
go on.
It's like, what does a woman offer? Other than she might touch your ding-a-ling once in a while, and she's not even that good at it.
And it's not even promised.
But the thing is, they used to, but that's sexist to cook for your husband even though he pays for the roof over your head. You know? And the thing is, it's not even that they ignore you. They nag your ear off. They can nag you to death. Do we really want that? And that happens in relationships too, not just marriage. That happens in relationships as well. Do we really want that? I'm asking all the blue pill men watching. Do you really want that? Come on now.
But the thing is how the fuck are you supposed to get in a relationship with a woman? And if you're not happy and you're miserable trying to placate her, how the fuck are you supposed to make her happy? I mean, if you can't keep yourself happy in the relationship, how the fuck are you supposed to keep her happy?
But she's making you unhappy though. That's the thing. You can never make them happy.
Do you want this to be your life? Fucking nag, 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 nag. Blew his face off with a 12 gauge. I have no idea why.
Oh my God, he killed himself right when he comes home for a 15-hour day. Oh my God, put your shoes over here. You never clean the house. Oh my God, you never take me out. Once you take me out, why is it this place?
Okay, you're bringing up bad memories for me.
Well, and you guys do realize there is a reason why Axl Rose sang the song "I Used to Love Her, But I Had to Kill Her."
Yeah, bitches.
Well, but that's just the thing. I mean, I have a pretty decent life. I've learned how to make myself happy. Why would I want a woman to come along and fuck that up? I mean, honestly. Anybody? Bueller?
No reason.
Anybody?
Why do you need a woman to fill this void that video games can fill, exercising, fucking any hobby you can think of can fill? Why do you need
That's why they hate it. That's why they hate video games. Have you not noticed the hate they have towards it? Then he just joined it later on, calling himself Gamer Girls, and now you have Anita Sarkeesian trying to change our games.
Well, no, women just love to infiltrate spaces where they think men are having fun, which we usually are, but they don't realize the reason we're having fun is because they aren't fucking in it.
No, the thing is, beforehand, they were always dissing it, and they said, well, we can't beat them, we might as well join them. You know? You know when Skyrim came out, it was this whole little page called Skyrim Widows because their boyfriends kept playing Skyrim and they didn't pay any attention to them. I wouldn't blame them. Look it up.
Before it came out, there was a parody of Skyrim where he says, "Goodbye, mom. Goodbye, dad. I'm embark on a quest. Goodbye, my girlfriend's breasts." You know, there was a parody.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I remember that.
So I'm looking at the chat, and I quote, "There's a deeper, meaningful connection to another human being that cares about you, and that you care about. Both parties want to help each other, care for each other, fuck each other, and be close." Hold on.
Let me respond to that.
Okay, you go, then I'll go.
I want to go too.
Not need a woman for that, but more than likely it's just an empty fucking relationship, regardless of whether or not it's a woman. It could be your best friend who's a male. It doesn't matter. It's like these deep interpersonal relationships don't exist. They're a myth.
Now,
Exactly.
my thinking is even broken clocks are right twice a day, and here's for the reason why. Amish people. Amish people. That's what he means by developing a deeper connection because you're not subjected to the outside world. So you're not subjected to this SJW shit. You know, you're not subjected to the lumber sexual, people that are, otherwise hipsters with flannel on. You know, so it just goes to show that if you want to become a hermit with somebody, that's hypothetically, and I use this term very loosely. Hypothetically, that is the only way that you can actually develop a deep connection and a deep relationship. Otherwise, people are always going to be shaped by others' opinions, others' facts. Okay? Feminist, it's opinions. For men, MGTOW, it's facts. If the facts change, then our views change. However, it doesn't mean we're gonna want to jump into the jump out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, and what I was just going to quickly add to that is it sounds like this person is living in a not a fantasy world, but has this. Yeah, he's living in the ideal perfect world concept where nothing is wrong at all and people are not human.
No, nothing wrong happens to women. Yeah, men, listen and believe bullshit. Come on.
I will not put the bottle down. I am enjoying my moonshine.
All right, can I
Telling
jump back in?
You know, if you had a wife, she'll be like, "You drink too much. Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
And my
Take care of the kids."
My response would be, and?
Can I jump back in?
Yeah.
Like I may have overstated my views on like an interpersonal relationship. I'm not going to say it's a myth or it doesn't exist. Of course it does. Like I have one with my mother, okay? Because she's my fucking mother.
It fills that male and male vulnerability need. You need someone to talk to from time to time to sort yourself out.
Audio cut out.
Oh shit.
It's on your end, Logic Tree.
Oh, it's on your end? Okay. So you have that someone to talk to sort yourself out. That is what the male vulnerability need is. Okay? When you're expected to be masculine in a society where it's gynocentric, who can you talk to? At first it was your mom. But as more and more time passes on, 9 times out of 10, their mothers are going to turn feminist, and then who can you turn to? That's what we're here for.
Well, and here's the real problem with all that is in modern times, it's getting harder and harder to actually form those deeper connections with people outside of your own family. Most of the time.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would argue I never.
Bingo! What did I win?
Nothing.
Oh, damn!
You want a pineapple, not shoved up your ass.
You dared to yell that word, and then I just heard a room full of sweet little old ladies yell "shit."
But you want a pineapple not being shoved up your ass by gynocentrism.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was I would argue that I've never felt that way towards a female family member. Yeah.
Because more than likely they felt, because from now on I'm going to use the term the way that women think by feeling, because that's what they do. Because they felt that you were not man enough in the first place to shut up and, man up.
Exactly. I mean, my mother isn't like that, which is great because I would have been moved out quicker if she was. But I hear a lot of times that other family members are like turning against their own sons and brothers, saying, "Hey, man up! Feminism say that your guys are all rapists and stuff like that." You know?
Oh yeah, that definitely is happening.
No, but this is the funny thing. Someone you grew up with, and then you're telling me 1 week of looking up feminist videos change your views. Like, it's ridiculous. You grew up with this man. He raised you, and you're talking about all men are good for, like Kim Kardashian, all men are good for is getting women pregnant. Yeah, Mrs. Kim Kardashian. Who built that car?
Let me just make a point here. And I quote, "The women in my family hate me. They call me a male chauvinist all the time." When I am called a chauvinist, I own that shit. That is now who I am. If that gets me away from relationships, dating, women in general, then yes, by all means, I am a chauvinistic pig. The thing is, we're so bothered by PC nowadays, nobody thinks to fucking own it.
I don't know. I've always owned up to it.
Actually, one of my friends on Facebook called me a misogynist, saying you always. I say I just call women out on their bullshit, and yes, I probably am the happy misogynist. It makes no sense to me that. And here's the thing, guys: if you sit back and just watch, you could call men out on everything possible. Say they're pigs, say they're scum, they're this and that.
And I'm gonna reply with, and?
Your point would be?
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm talking to one of my coworkers.
That's like you're in the middle of playing Monopoly and you throw the board across the room because you're not winning.
Well, yeah, they can call.
Okay,
us.
the point I was making is that you could call men on everything. Call them rapists, call them this and that. But the second you say, hey, that woman was wrong for cutting off her husband's penis, well, you don't know what he did. And you get this from white knights and women. That something should tell you that something's fucked up. Something should tell you that something's wrong.
No, I would agree with that. That's like, are you thinking of the same case that I'm thinking of with the guy in Florida?
You mean on The View?
Yeah.
What, the one that had his cock ripped off and shoved down a...
Yep.
The one that had his cock ripped off and shoved down a garbage disposal?
He deserved it. What did he do to deserve it? That's what they're saying.
Well, the thing was that he wanted a divorce.
Cut my dick off. Okay, it's like no one ever deserves to have their penis chopped off.
No, I know that, but these women and feminists don't think so. They think that he deserved it for simply asking for a divorce.
Damn, what it's like to have a dick and balls, man.
Well, but here's the thing.
Well, I guess for a few seconds she did feel what it was like.
Guys, always ask yourself this question. If it would have been the reverse situation of some dude shaving his wife's tits off with a samurai sword, how bad would they be jumping up his ass on that show?
Right. Right.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. Double fucking standards.
Guys, remember this. If your girlfriend cheats on you, it's your fault. If you cheat on your girlfriend, it's your fault. Just remember that.
And let me point out another thing here, and I quote, okay, yeah, that's ridiculous. I've never experienced any of my family or anyone else's family ever calling me or anyone who wasn't a chauvinist. That's because you haven't experienced it. That's why you think it's ridiculous. See, that's what people don't get, is that the fact that because they haven't experienced it, they think that, they just shrug it off and walk away. But you experience it, and slowly your eyes begin to open. It's like Morpheus, it's like Neo asking Morpheus, why do my eyes hurt? And Morpheus says, because you've never used them.
Hey, here's the thing. It's the equivalent of this. Oh, I don't know how war is like, so they don't go through shit since they've never been shot before. It's ridiculous to say that getting shot is painful. You see how stupid that sounds?
Yeah, it's kind of like when people criticize cops and say, well, why couldn't you have just gotten him in a headlock? Well, because the Geneva Convention banned the headlock, which actually saved a lot of lives and stopped police brutality for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, yeah. And it's just... I don't know. My thing is, do whatever it takes to get yourself out of that possible situation of dating, relationships, and marriage. Whether it would be own up to being a chauvinistic pig, whether it, do anything necessary. Oh, shaming tactics that women use. Oh, this is a time-old discussion. Anyone want to start?
Oh, the shaming tactics that women use? Well, God, you'll probably jog my memory, so someone else go first.
Agnes.
Well, what kind of shaming tactics are we looking for?
Any shaming tactics. Remember the discussion me and you had about shit tests?
In a fight, they say you wouldn't hit a girl, would you? I've had that happen to me. You probably punched her in the
Well,
face.
see, if a woman were to hit me and then say, you wouldn't hit a woman, would you? Why not? You have equal rights. Why not make it equal Fs?
Well, but no, that's not the equal rights they wanted. Well, no, but look at like there was this one commercial that I think the Honey Badgers actually talked about it at one point where it was some guy in a car and he's revving his engine to impress the ladies or whatever, and both of them look at each other and hold up their pinkies in an obvious reference to the size of his ding-a-ling.
Yep.
Half the time, half the problem sexually, the problem isn't the man's ding-a-ling, it's the fact that the woman's damn hoo-ha could probably haul more freight than my fucking trailer.
Like throwing a hot dog down the Grand Canyon.
I don't know.
We were talking about that the other day in our
Dog wasn't
hangout.
big enough, man.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day in the hangout. Some kid was talking about he wanted to get with some girl and stuff, and somebody made the claim in the discussion that you would have to wait for a girl nowadays to let her go through and sow her wild oats and fuck a bunch of guys, and then when she decides she's hit the wall and she wants to settle down, that's about the only way you're going to be able to have a real woman and a real relationship. And I made the discussion. I basically said, so does that sound like something that you would want to do? You want to have a girlfriend that's fucked like the entire football, basketball, and baseball team and everybody else in college, and when she's tired of fucking, then she comes to you to get married. Sounds like an awesome marriage.
Which goes hand in hand with
the-
they
the
fuck the
last
alphas, they fuck the alphas, and they settle with the betas.
Yep.
Yeah, and actually, as soon as you said that, that made perfect sense to me. Every situation I've ever seen, and it also made me think of a lot of people in my old Dungeons and Dragons group who are owned by bitches.
Yep.
And no,
If
I
you're
don't.
with a
I don't
bitch-
mean.
If you're
I
with a
don't
bitch,
just-
you're owned. That's
Yeah,
just
no.
the facts.
Yeah, no. I don't just mean emotionally. I don't just mean that they're, as you would probably describe them, a simp who pays for everything. I mean they are financially owned, mentally owned, everything. The woman makes the money, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but that's nothing new or unusual, really.
What up, fuckers?
Hey, what is up?
What cunt?
We have Mike in the chat. Welcome, Mike.
I didn't choose the mug life.
Fucking muggle.
Hello, Mike. Long time no see.
What's going on, James?
Doing great, buddy.
Well, but
Is that a Christmas tree?
actually, I think Mike's got some
Everyone
pretty decent
fucking-
stories.
Okay, everyone asked about the damn Christmas tree, so I've told this story 100 times. This is my family's old Christmas tree, and we were gonna throw it away. And I was like, no, I'll take it. So I took it up into my room, and now it's here year-round.
Mine's still up, too.
The man adopted a Christmas
Not
tree.
still
Let's
up.
all
I
take
never
a
take
moment
it down.
No,
Is
I'm
it-
saying I don't take mine down either. I have a little Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I never take it down.
I never put one up.
You need to get some Christmas cheer, motherfucker.
Ah, humbug, motherfucker.
It ain't about Christmas cheer for me. I'm just lazy.
Yeah, I mean, I have moonshine. I can just imagine a Christmas tree there after I get done with the court.
Fair enough.
See, that's the thing. You know, people who don't drink doesn't realize it can be a wonderful world if you do drink. Because your mind is the only thing holding you back. and making me fall down and
Don't listen to him.
Uh-oh, Logic found the emotes. Watch out, we got a badass over here. But no, it's shaming tactics, shaming language. It's all part of a female mentality. If they don't get what they want by manipulating you, they'll get what they want by shaming you.
Yep. Eventually they'll get what they want, no matter what they have to do to get it.
Well, see, Japan, if I'm correct on this, Sheena, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Japan is like #1 in the world for exporting, like shaming language and shaming men into doing this, that, and the third.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're actually trying to get rid of the Yakuza right now. They've splintered off into 10 groups, and then now they've splittered off again. And they've actually closed down in Osaka, where I live, really close to where I live, about 40 kilometers away is Osaka. They've closed down all of the tattoo parlors, and they've got this kind of thing that they do here in Japan. It's kind of like a I don't know what they call that. It's like they're trying to force you to do something, but they're doing it in a way that is kind of like they're not like pushing it in your face. So they're shutting them all down, and by doing that, the new Yakuza people that want to join the Yakuza can't get their tattoos for their clan. So you can't even show that you're a Yakuza because you can't get a tattoo anymore.
Do they not know how to give prison tats?
It's not something they do. The thing is a lot of the Yakuza people, most of the Yakuza haven't even went to high school. Lots of them dropped out of school. Lots of them don't know anything about the internet. They don't know how to use anything. They're still in an old world system. A lot of the guys that run the Yakuza are guys from the 50s and 40s that learned from people from in the 1800s. You know, that's kind of the way the system goes here. It kind of skips about 3 generations. So I've talked about that before. The way the system works here, basically. You know, like kids.
I'm sorry, but if they're that stupid, they deserve. See Darwin. See Darwin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I've talked a lot about the reason why the culture is the way it is over here, and why it's really hard for them to get out of it. And it's because the grandparents are the ones that are raising the kids here in Japan. The parents work, and the mom, even though she's not working, she takes the kids to the grandparents, and the grandparents are the ones that teach them how to do everything. And because of that, her grandparents were taught by their grandparents. So everything's skipping a generation, and your grandparents are teaching your kids now stuff that they learned in, say, 1965, and they learned it from their grandparents, which they're teaching them something from the 1900s, early 1900s, you know, from like 1910, you know, and those people are learning stuff from the 1800s. So you're skipping generations like that, and it's making the whole, like, everything kind of stagnate here. And it's, instead of just raising your kids and kind of you learn what you need to learn from your parents, you're learning what you need to learn from your grandparents, which don't know anything about modern society, you know. And that's basically the way the Japanese culture is. They're learning all these things. They're having the grandparents take care of them. And you're talking about 80-year-old people taking care of kids, and they learned how to take care of kids from their 80-year-old grandparents at the time they were born, which would have been 70 years ago, you know. And those people were born 70 years before that, you know. So I mean, it's a retarded culture. You're looking at basically people teaching your kids that learned how to raise kids 140 years ago.
Hey, Shino.
Yeah.
I just had a comment on your videos.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's any way you can, like, normalize the volume for your videos, because your intro music is, like, extremely loud, and all the other clips are really loud. And then when it gets to the part where you're talking, it's like, hey guys, how's it going?
I actually figured it out with Sony Vegas Pro.
Yeah, I don't have. The thing is I don't have any software in my computer. I had it in my other computer, but it died. And I actually have what is it, Lightworks, but they want me to pay to like turn it on, and I'm not going to pay another. I think I paid like $150, $200 for it last time. So I actually use the YouTube editor software, and I have like a crappy 54X Sony Handycam. And I bought it, and I thought it would be really cool, but it actually doesn't have a mic, an external mic, so I can't even hook up like a lapel mic to it or anything. So it's really.
Hey, Shinu?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What does the wife do after she drops the kids off to their grandparents?
They go out and they hang out with other moms and talk about moms that they don't like.
That's
Usually
so hard, isn't it? Like
places like they have these little things here called Mr. Donut, and they'll go out to like Mr. Donut and they'll sit and drink coffee and eat donuts, and they'll talk about other mothers with kids that don't have as much money as they have because their father or the husband is working. Their husband might work at like a company where he's making $80,000 or $100,000 a year, and this other family has a husband that's maybe only making $20,000 or $30,000 a year because he builds houses, and their husband actually works in a company. So they'll sit there and shame them and say that those kids aren't as nice, they're not going to go to a nice college, blah blah blah, and they'll basically get a little circle and they get in the little cliques and they sit around and do that while the grandparents are the ones taking care of their kids.
Isn't that great, guys who's listening? Doesn't that sound like a great deal? You work to death while they go out and party. Isn't that amazing?
Here too.
I know, but I'm telling the audience, isn't that great? Doesn't it sound like a great deal? Go on, man up and get married. All of you blue pillars, man up and get married right now.
Yep. The average work week here for a man is 90 hours.
Isn't that amazing, guys? Isn't it 90 hours and you don't see a penny of it? You could barely see your kids.
Most of them give all the money to their wives, and they are actually on an allowance. Most men only get about $200 a month.
That's not even enough for my cigarette usage.
And you know what's funny, guys? You know the only way out right now. The only way out is the bullets they have for hating.
Audio.
Yep.
Blue dolphin. Blue dolphin.
Blue waffle. Oh wait, what? Fuck, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Sounds like he just base jumped off a building or something. A lot of wind noise going on there, bud.
It's like a wind tunnel. But yeah, at the end of the day,
Is that anything like an Alabama hot pocket?
No, it's more like a rusty trombone.
Oh boy. Yeah, for those of you listening, don't Google Alabama hot pocket. Whatever you do, don't do it.
And you know what? I still yeah, we're live. But you know what? I've made a decision. The next video I put out will be the motivational one that I wrote up. So yeah.
I prefer demotivational myself.
Well, no, motivational as in, because the male suicide rate is linked. There is no live icon because I'm using it through OBS. If you actually look at the link that someone pop him the link.
Derp.
Derp.
If the suicide rate among men is actually linked to divorces, rejections, stuff like that. Men have lost everything and they have nowhere to turn. Well, now they do. And with all the white knights and the simps and the blue pill out there saying, "Oh, MGTOW is in rah rah rah, rada rada rada," shit like that. You can't tell one way or another. So the next video I make is going to be the motivational one for like anti-suicide among men, as well as informing them about, hey, you want to be listened to, you want to be acknowledged, you want to be appreciate it. Well,
That's victim blaming.
I was gonna say I think MGTOW's greatest enemies are the success stories out there. You know, those we'll say 0.5% of guys that you know, they get the perfect wife and it works out great, and they have the 9 to 5 job and they make, you know, 50,000 a year, keep the wife happy,
and they live in rural or suburban areas.
and those types of guys will always perpetuate the Nawalt myth to the nth degree.
Yep.
Oh, you just haven't found the right one yet.
Yeah.
And you say to yourself, this is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife.
Yeah,
For those
it's
letting
just
your
like,
age
oh,
go
well,
by.
I haven't found a Nawalt. You obviously found one. Can I fuck her?
Yeah, let me swipe my credit card in her butt crack and have a little piece of that.
Yeah. It's like, obviously you have the life. Let me have a taste of it if you think it's so great.
Well, maybe it is great for them, but for everybody else, not so much. You know.
You mean that they're the Nawalt until they, you know, put down their mask once they say, yeah, we're married now after 6 months.
The chameleon method.
Well, it doesn't matter if they are in the Nawalt or not. It only matters how long they can perpetuate that.
Well, exactly. But then don't you just love the chicks who screwed the football team and then later on they found God?
Yeah, like that bitch that doesn't want to marry gay people, that had 4 husbands.
Oh, yeah.
I remember her.
What about Octomom?
Octomom.
Oh, that creature.
One woman had 8 kids at one time.
That's how you know she's a redneck. She didn't have a kid. She had a litter of kids.
Well, that was the result of using fertility drugs, which
yeah,
can
fertility
result.
drugs in order to pin down the man that she was sleeping with.
Yeah.
Overkill.
Jesus.
That's what people
That
don't.
chick was nasty looking too.
And then you have the corporations offering so and so amount of money for her to do a porn, like as if she's not going to take fertility drugs again. That's like another $6,000 a month in government grants and you know financial assistance.
Yeah, consider.
Which we have to pay for out of taxes.
Well, considering how many youngins she's closed out of that hole, do you think anybody but Long Dong Silver himself would be able to get any traction on that fucking thing?
Not even him, man. He'd have to strap a 2x4 to his ass to keep from falling in.
Well, he'd have to keep bouncing it back out using his pecker as a pogo stick.
Yeah, if he can hit bottom.
Well, yeah, well, he would have to. That would be the tricky part.
Oh boy, we're getting up there to 2 hours. We've had this conversation for 2 hours, fellas.
Yes, we have.
I think this is a good conversation. Honestly, we needed to get that out. So, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up with final thoughts. Who wants to start?
Final thoughts on what?
On everything that we've talked about tonight. What is your final thought to leave with people who are thinking of going MGTOW or are blue pillars?
Well, I don't know. I'm new to this myself.
Okay, fair enough. So then, knowing what you know now, and say like the apprehension that people are looking about towards MGTOW, what would you say to them?
Oh, I would say everything said here it tends to be based in reality, and that's, I would say, would be one of the biggest things that sets it apart from feminism, is that the facts can be backed up with statistics. I know this because I have had to do research myself for different YouTube videos, for debunking crazed feminists like Steve Shives and Lacey Green, I've had to go out of my way to find actual rape statistics, actual statistics for suicide for men, actual examples of feminists harming men and harming women who are smart enough to see through their bullshit. It's as far as I can tell, I haven't seen actual misogyny from these people. I have heard talk about objectification as a meditation exercise to avoid being taken advantage of, but
I'm taking a moment out of my life to enjoy the fact that Logic was being that polite and simply calling people like Steve Shives and Lacey Green crazed. Dude, you don't have to be polite in front of us.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Final thoughts, James.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Final
Yeah.
thoughts.
All right, then. Here are my final thoughts. To the blue pillar, you go get married. See how fun it is. To the red pillars, keep doing what you're doing. Live strong, stay free, and cheers.
Well said. And I'm going to quote Galatians 3:6. Wear MGTOW as a badge of honor. That's his final thought. M, what's yours?
Well, I would say just look at the evidence in front of you, learn from those who've come before you, and be aware of the world around you.
Very well said. Magnus.
Well, simply put, guys, you got to do what's best for you. It's just simple as that. Do what's best for you, and everything else will fall into place.
Very well. Mike.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Alrighty. My thoughts on this is some men aren't ready for the red pill, and they're not going to be MGTOW no matter what you tell them. But I would say this to somebody who's on the fence or just hearing MGTOW for the first time: just listen to the stuff that's out there. It's all for your benefit. Even if it's not the lifestyle for you, I would say that the information will help you greatly. And who knows, when you run into a scenario where you get burned, this might give you the tools, at least emotionally or mentally, to deal with that, or to know what you're going through and know that you're not alone.
Very well said. Shinu.
Well, I would say that, like everything else in life, kids will always not pay attention to what their parents say and what their elders say, and they'll want to learn it for themselves. And just like us, we did the same thing, and it'll be up to them to listen or to figure it out for themselves. And a lot of kids, half of the battle is just disseminating the information that they think is true and letting them eventually find out that what you've told them is true. Most of the stuff that they'll think is true is just stuff that they have been taught. So if you just let them, you just tell them the truth and then let them go on about their way, someday down the road they'll look back at what you told them and realize that you weren't lying.
Yeah, and that's true in, almost all cases. The Stalinator. Come on.
No one gets the name right. I'd say don't be confused about what MGTOW is all about. It's men going their own way. So just take the information that we put in front of you and do whatever the fuck you want with it. That's
right. Yeah, and with that being said, my final thoughts are: information is information. Facts are facts. Okay, MGTOW embrace these facts. Blue pills live in a system where they don't want to believe those facts. Feminism actively refutes those facts with emotions. So who's the real logic? Who's the real logical one here? I'm Optimus Christ, and if you like this hangout in the stream, feel free to subscribe and look up anybody that's been on the panel for tonight, and we will be more than welcome to discuss with you any situation you might feel confused about, or if you're on the fence about it. Just feel free to open up. You're not going to be judged here, except, by blue pillars. So, remember, Autobots, lick my asshole. Have a good one.